Hey guys, welcome back to Vintage Super League. I'm joined by Rodrigo Tavares, who is playing, I don't know the name of your deck.
It's
It has a
called
name.
two-card Monte.
Of course it is. What does that mean?
And it's just a deck that plays a lot of two-card combos, and you try to get two of them together. So I'm been playing the deck because I came yesterday really late from Eternal Weekend, and I didn't know what to play. Also, being on the 3-0 bracket made me like wish I play something different, something special. Maybe not the best deck, but I was sure people would enjoy to play this deck, to see me playing this deck, because it's maybe it's fun playing painters and ley lines and pyroblasts, which is maybe one of the best 1-mana spells on the format. And yes, so
yeah, no, I mean, obviously, if you make all the permanents blue, it makes Pyroblast into a pretty good card. Already a pretty solid card against a lot of the range in VSL. A lot of people like the blue decks for sure.
And why you played Eldrazi?
I figured there was a good chance you would play something like Dredge or just a complete nonsense deck. I figured there was a good chance Paul would play like basically a mono blue control deck or like a blue red artifact deck. And Oliver has showed up with Mentor, 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 and Mentor, so his range is 0, and he's just going to play Mentor. Not going to play anything else. So I thought the deck was going to be better against the Mentor deck that he played last week. I think it's better against the Jeskai Mentor than the blue-white Mentor, because if he's playing bolts and cards that are not too good. I think he had like a main deck Pyroblast, which everyone had been playing in the last few weeks, just main deck Pyroblast. So I thought Eldrazi would be good against that. I don't know. I saw this list come out of the Euro tournament. I had a couple dismembers main to kind of pre-sideboard a little bit against Mentor. I like a bunch of Thalias. They're all pretty nice. And yeah, it was kind of just a weird spot because, obviously we highly encourage people to play different decks, and when people just play the same deck every week, it's boring. But this is something that's kind of happened a number of times where someone's just going to show up on the same deck. They're going to show the same deck, which happened last season with Shuhei. He played Oath, then Oath, then Oath, then Oath, then Oath, and then guaranteed in the finals he would show up with at least 2 Oaths. And I ended up playing in the finals, and I just played a bunch of main deck Containment Priests and Graph Diggers Cages, and it turned out the third deck he decided to play was Dredge, which just happened to be horrible against all the hate cards for Oath. And so I just had main deck Graph Diggers Cage and Containment Priests, and it was just insane against all of them. And so I was saying this week, if it was just a 2-man finals, I was just going to show up with 4 Sudden Shocks, 4 Sulfur Elemental, 4 Dread of Night, all in my main deck, and try to beat Oliver. But the problem is, if I beat Oliver and lose to you and Paul this week, then I still lose. So it's just like, all right, this is kind of a tough spot. So hope that you two both show up with heavy anti-mentor decks and that I can win. Obviously, this was kind of a weird one. I had to fade Helm hitting exactly for X Univoker, and I could not do that. But oh well. I mean, I guess I could have played around it. It's not a deck I've played against before. I wasn't really thinking about Revoker from my own deck coming into play, since obviously I had no rod in my hand and the game was just going to be over. But it is what it is, and so play for second place.
You played the list from that one, the Eternal Weekend, exactly list?
No, definitely not. I saw. I didn't even realize that Hit won the Eternal Weekend until watching Rich Shea's stream, but I did see a daily event where Montolio went 4-0 and Rich Shea went 3-1. And then I took out the Containment Priest for main deck Spirit of the Labyrinth, because I thought they'd be better against Mentor and potentially whatever Paul might play, and a good chance whatever you play. Obviously, you can just play anything, so it doesn't really There's no use in guessing what you might play. And yeah, I added the main deck dismembers to kind of pre-sideboard against Mentor.
It's pretty curious that my friend who won the tournament with the deck list, he was playing only 4 Wasteland and not Strip Mine because he forgot the Strip Mine in his old school deck. And
Okay.
he won on Friday the trial with the deck with the Strip Mine, and he won on Sunday the event, only losing the mirror without even having Strip Mine in the deck, because he just put the deck together and he had all the cards like, okay, I count 60. So yeah, I forgot in my old school deck the Strip Mine.
Yeah, I really wanted to play the 4th Wasteland, and I saw that Rich Shea only had 3 in his deck, and I wanted to play the 4th. Like, I was just looking at this deck, I'm like, man, the mana in this deck is already so bad. Like, maybe this deck, I have no idea, if the deck is good or not. I don't think it's great, but I think it seems pretty solid. The thing is, the white cards are so good, and they're just kind of so hard to cast. Like, you want to play Cavern on Eldrazi more often than not, but you kind of can't because there's only, like, 7-ish white sources plus Lotus. So I don't know. I really don't.
I think from this deck list, the better end is like playing only 2 Temple of the 2 Eldrazi Temple and playing 1 more Plains and the Strip Mine there. So
What was that? Say it again.
That I think from this deck list with 4 Eldrazi Temples, you should play like 1 more Plains and the Strip Mine in the 2 spots. That makes that your Eldrazi are not so fast, but when I have tested it, because I also wanted to play it at the Turner weekend, the problem is that having white is a real problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I ended up running into that problem. Like, obviously, game 3, I mulliganed. My opening hand was Ancient Tomb Wasteland, No Rod, White Card, and Thought Not Seal Reality Smasher. And then my scry was a mock. So I'm just like, I can put that on the bottom and try to find a land and play turn 1 No Rod. Or I can put that on top, play turn 2 Thought Knots here on the play. And then turn 3, I can play Wasteland plus No Rod. And that should be more than enough. Like, obviously, I'm not going to get turn 1 very often. Especially you didn't play, like, turn 1 Leyline of the Void. So, like, it's pretty hard for you to go, like, Grindstone, Painter, Servant, activate on turn 1. So I have time to play No Rod. So, yeah, I just kind of set that up. Everything was looking good, and just needed to avoid a Helm for 1 hitting a Revoker, I guess, to turn off the mocks. Not sure if there's a way I should have played that differently. Obviously, I don't have to scry mocks to the top. There's some options there, but pretty happy with the way I played it. And just happens. It sounds like Oliver and Paul are ready, so let's go down to the match.
Let's see Magic.
Welcome back to Vintage Super League. Oliver 2, surprising the entire world. He's doing it. Oh, wait, no, he's playing Mentor again. And Paul Rietzl, I don't know what that means. Is this a known deck name, Overvalued Trinkets? Is this 2-card Monty, his cousin?
No, he's playing a blue-red Blood Moon deck.
Is that typically named Overvalued Trinkets? Or is that just Paul trying to be funny with trinket pages in his deck?
Blue Moon or something like that.
All right, so Paul Rietzl is playing Blue Moon or something like that. And Oliver, again, they shock the world.
Yeah. With his, and has turn 1 library against a multi 5. He will have to force the Blood Moon, but
yeah, he'll be right back on.
Not that bad. So he's gonna play the Blood Moon. Oliver is gonna force. He's going to be on the library next turn again. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a bit strange that. No, I was gonna say that he was going to play. To not play Gitaxian Pro, but yeah, that's fine. I played this weekend Mentor on the Eternal weekend, and I have never played Gitaxian Pro in Mentor, and the card was really so sick. I won 3 games just because I guitar can pro my opponent. Now I understand Brian Kelly saying that it should get banned.
So this time he's actually almost off the library, but of course he found Gush. I'll get you right back on. Paul down to no cards in hand.
Sudden Shock, which does not do a lot. Yeah, I think here the best place to just pass, and yeah, being on Paul on only 1 card, you don't really care.
That was a good draw. Concentrate off the top.
5 mana, draw 3. That's
any mana draw 3 is pretty good here. It's better than Ancestral against that mental misstep.
Yeah.
So Paul's got a bunch of Ancient Tombs in his Blood Moon Jace deck.
So it seems like there are 3 Ancient Tomb decks in the in the event today, in the tournament, and 2 of them are blue in a blue deck, more or less, or blue-red deck.
Yeah, it's true.
So next turn he's gonna play a Jace, and Jace is usually better than Library.
Yeah, but the library's been out for a few turns. It certainly has the prospect to be better.
So
he actually has the Sudden Shock here for this Jace, so Paul's hand looking a little bit better than it did. Well, I mean, I guess he mulled the 5 and got his first 2 spells Force of Will, but...
Whoa. He's gonna gush now. He just
he's gonna have 20 cards in hand.
So 9, 10, and then 8. He's gonna discard 1 card, which is perfectly
I really wanted
fine.
to find Force of Will there. This Jace is gonna hit.
Mental Misstep is not the best draw there, but it helps. Or
he's gonna be brainstorming anyway. Okay,
so
there's a million.
you just Sudden Shock the Jace, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Sudden Shock. Tapping. I think I will tap here the Ancient Tomb to maybe seem like I could have another Sudden Shock or another or a Pyroblast or Flusterstorm.
Reasonable.
I think the damage in this matchup is not really a problem because or you lose by a bunch of damage or you win by a bunch. And drawing the mana drains next turn is also pretty cool.
Well, I guess Oliver is actually, he gushed, so that Jace is not as good a draw as it could be. So he's going to play the DAC over the library.
And I will steal here something. Yeah. Stealing here the Sol Ring is fine.
It's pretty great. It allows him to use library and Jace.
So Paul is coming back from his Multi 5. Also, the double force of Oliver help him there. And Jace is usually better than Library or Dark Faden.
Well, mana drain's usually pretty good, especially on 4 mana spells, but he does not have any action to...
Yeah, but he has Jace. If he can survive and counter the business spell, he will find something, maybe a Trinket Mage.
Yeah.
Which is the fastest clock.
Does this deck play things like Tinker or Consecrated Sphinx or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it's running Walking Ballista for sure. So I will bet my life that he has at least 1 Walking Ballista, if not more.
Wow, that's a big bet. You're going to bet your whole life on that?
That's, if he's playing Trinket, he plays 1 Walking Ballista for sure.
Does have Ancient Tombs. And mana drains.
There's a problem with the Ancient Tombs and Blood Moons usually, that you want to play Blood Moon on turn 2, but if you don't have a natural drawn island, you will not be able. And it happened to me quite times in Legacy Sneak and Show, where you just cast your Blood Moon on an Ancient Tomb without searching for the island, and you never draw blue and lose the game. Okay. Here you Pyroblast. So Oliver is gonna win this mental fight, but not the Pyroblast fight.
He's going what? Oh, okay. Missed that fight.
Oh, sorry. So then Jess is coming, and if Paul draws a ballista, it's gonna be a really huge one.
Oh, yeah.
It's for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Now all that
13.
Ancient Tomb damage is starting to add up. I mean, if he goes down to 4, there's at least one Sudden Shock already in Oliver's hand.
So, mana drains. Oh, the Sudden Shock is gonna cold kill the Dark which I think it's fine.
Oh, there's your Trinket Mage and Time Walk and everything. Wow, he wants all 4 of these cards.
Maybe not Ponder.
Really? Ponder's so good.
Yeah, but
What do you do here?
I think the other cards are far better. So
Well, you can get rid of the Sudden Shock if you have the Ballista, right?
So I think here you Time Walk and then Trinket Mage, putting Sudden Shock on top. If the Trinket Mage resolves, then you will be able to kill the Dark Phylum, which is good, but not the best card right now in this game. It's just.
What if he doesn't have Ballista?
He doesn't have Ballista.
So what if? I don't know.
No, but Trinket with Time Walk also kills the Dark Phylum.
Well, he did not leave the Trinket Mage in his hand.
I kind of like that play more, but.
Well, he had 5 colorless floating from mana drain, so this is. If he had Walking Ballista, there's no way he would do this, right? He's letting those 3 mana go to waste.
He's afraid of Oliver having like Swords to Closures for the Trinket, because
Swords doesn't do anything if he has Walking Ballista. He could have just played it for a huge amount, right?
Okay, now we are seeing his deck. Now is the important moment, if I lose my life or not. Okay, Black Lotus is also a fire magic card.
No, I think your life has just been lost.
No, he can still have it in his deck.
And he went to get Black Lotus. He's got 8 mana in play.
I don't know why. So you are playing Trinket
Really
Mage.
don't know why. I mean, I can't believe he didn't have Sensei's Divining Top.
Yeah, and so all of these cards are better than.
Man, if only you had bet your life before I played you. You think this Trinket Mage is going to go get that Ballista? You did say overvalue trinkets. You didn't say good trinkets. Taking the Soul Ring back, so if he does have Ballista, it could be pretty big.
Maybe he took the Lotus, then if he draws Ballista, maybe he plays 4 Ballistas, and he just wanted to power out the lethal one.
This is making no sense, no offense. You understand he had 4 mana floating from the mana drain and didn't cast the Trinket Mage. And then the next turn went to get Black Lotus, meaning he had less mana than the mana drain turn. So well, he's got Engineered Explosive, so he can make that for a lot of colorless.
Weird.
Well, if Paul Rietzl taps his Ancient Tomb, he will lose.
What's Oliver searching for?
I don't know. Was Oliver going through his own deck list?
Okay. So Oliver was looking at his deck list to see his outs or something. I also had to do it.
He probably wanted to know if he's playing Lightning Bolts or more Sudden Shocks.
And when I was playing against you, I could not look at my deck because I was playing. And luckily, I had sent a picture of the deck yesterday to a group of friends. So I was able to see the cards.
Well, Oliver just cast Sudden Shock targeting Paul and did not redirect it to deck. So he's on a plan, a very clear plan. He has another burn spell in his deck.
Seems like he has another Sudden Shock in his deck.
Yep. He definitely has a Mox Sapphire in his deck.
He will now need to draw a Gush.
Oh, well, there's Force of Will. That was a good draw. This is probably why he went to search out that Black Lotus. He knew that Force of Will was coming. And now he can afford to cast multiple counters in one turn.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now he has 9 mana with the Tombs. So if he draws a land with the Jace, he can double hard cast Force. And maybe he's afraid of Mentor and does not want to get rid of the explosive, but he did.
I don't like this decision. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm sorry. I do like this decision. He's not trying to play around Lightning, but he's trying to play around Sudden Shock.
Here, you put the card on top or on bottom, knowing he has a fetch land.
I mean, you can always be cute and put the card on top because you know they're going to fetch, but if it actually is the Sudden Shock, it's just not worth it. Like, what are you doing to yourself? Like, of course he's going to fetch 100% of the time unless he misclicks. But if he misclicks, you just lose, so that's kind of a rough spot.
Okay, I'm dead. My Paul does not run Welcome Ballista. Why?
That seems like an oversight.
So, Sudden Shock, 1 Sulfur Elemental.
So the deck lists are flip-flopped. Paul's is on the right. And does have Consecrated Sphinx.
That's a pretty cool card. I like, usually. The problem is that now with so many people playing Swords to Closes, it's not the greatest. Usually when you can resolve the Sphinx, you could also have resolved a Jace.
Yeah.
And the body is okay, but not great.
It's better against Phyrexian Revoker, but that's about it.
Yes. But I don't think Paul's deck is bad against Phyrexian Revoker.
I'm thinking you're right.
Now I know why he plays no Ballista, because Revoker is gonna name it if they see Trinket Mage. Obviously.
Yeah, chat pointing out that was a multiply of defeating a turn 1 library on the draw. Don't see that too often.
Having 2 business spells on turn 2 and turn 3, it's quite good against Force of Wills.
Yeah. Although, I mean, he was mitigating that card loss from turn 1.
and also put Oliver one turn off the library.
Well, he never had to be off the library. And well, yeah, you're right. One turn. The turn that he could have cast Gush theoretically. Not theoretically. He literally could have cast Gush if he wanted to, but it wasn't a great spot. Paul choosing to keep up Flusterstorm rather than play Soul Ring. I like it. He's in kind of a weird spot because now he's going to want to leave up Mana Drain, so he's going to have to draw a land to actually get that Soul Ring down. Gives your opponent a little bit more time to find a misstep, but all good.
I would have played a Scalding turn here, because Oliver could be cute and be playing Cavern of Souls, so you want to Sudden Shock as soon as possible.
Okay, I mean, we've seen a lot of Oliver playing this deck every single week, so it's not like, it's not out of left field.
So
But I get what you're saying.
That a card that I was gonna play until last moment this weekend, the Cavern, but then I just choose to play one more fetch land because I was in fear of Thorn decks.
In which
It's a
deck are you
really
talking about?
What?
In which deck?
In Mentor, I played Mentor in Eternal Weekend and lost my win and in against turn 1 Tinker with backup to game 2 and game 3.
Smart play from Oliver here using Disenchant on the upkeep. Does make the Mana Drain a lot less effective.
Will you counter back here?
This Soul Ring dying is real bad.
But it's so bad that you can't.
I think that this is a good spot to Flusterstorm because your opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. Now there are definitely things that punish you. Like if Paul doesn't draw a land and Oliver casts like Ancestor Recall or Treasure Cruise or anything like that, he can cast a Mentor and multiple spells, which would be pretty punishing too. But he does have Sudden Shock for Mentor with Mana Drain backup, and he does have some reasonable action against most lines that Oliver is going to have here as a follow-up.
Okay, Oliver here is gonna Gush. Okay, maybe not. I think I will here hard cast Gush.
If you've watched Oliver play Vintage Super League, especially last week, he's planning on casting Gush and being able to, make 15 monks this turn.
So
I do believe that was his game plan.
got rewarded, drawing a Mentor. So now he has Mentor with Pyro backup, which is not really good against Sudden Shock.
No, it's not great against Sudden Shock, I'll give you that. So Paul's, looked like he was considering firing it off upkeep.
Here you cast the Sphinx. No. I think you pass, and you have double counter backup. Yeah, that's right. Oliver brought it in the basic planes so that he can play against Blood Moon a bit.
Wow, Oliver just gets to Pyroblast the Sphinx, and there is nothing that Paul can do about that. Well, he's going to hardcast Force of Will, which actually still works because Paul's going to Pyroblast, but during his upkeep before he draws, he just gets to blow up the Sphinx.
Yeah, that's a smart play. So he has 2 shots at dealing with the Sphinx.
Yeah. An action spell here might just end it. Alright, looks like we're in a top deck war where Paul has a Mana Drain.
And
That's a good top deck. That's a good top deck.
Okay, seems like Oliver's luck has changed because lately in all situations where he needed like business or a fossil will or mentor, a lot of times he got the good card, but not this.
Man, this Blood Moon looks real bad here.
Oh, he's broke it again. He's really flooded. He also gushed into when he had lots of lands in hand. Like he had, when he gushed before, he had like 2 or 3 lands, if I remember right. So, okay, here you easy misstep. You want to shuffle your deck and still have 1 hard counter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good one.
Did Paul shuffled or he saw it?
That's not Garrett. Yeah, we don't know if he shuffled. It could have been the 3rd card now. It wasn't one of the 2 that went back though. Oh, really gonna respond with a dig here?
I don't think it's really good to dig here.
I agree.
Because he's gonna see the new cards, and it's only good if he draws a mental misstep and he wants to cast it on probe. So okay, seems like.
I feel like I can bet my life here that you won't bet your life again that the Trinket Mage finds a
ballista.
ballista.
No, he did not have a ballista in his deck because it.
So
Divert.
Got divert.
Why is divert good in vintage?
It's pretty good against when you know your opponent's gonna have a bunch of pyroblasts. It's good against ancestral.
Okay, in a normal mentor game where he has lots of
It might be
not a lot of mana.
It might be good if your opponent knows what you're on and brings in. The thing is, like, I don't even know if Oliver had the list if he'd bring in things like Fragmentize. Like, this Tinker Mages aren't getting anything good, and the Blood Moons haven't done much. But, like, diverting a Fragmentize onto your opponent's Mox is kind of cool. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. I mean, I played Misdirection a couple weeks ago. That was kind of cool, but... Anyways, so Paul Rietzl takes the match. Oliver takes his first loss of, the playoffs period. And now coming up next, you get to take on Mentor. So I'm sure you were completely shocked to see Oliver on that. Is this a matchup you feel prepared for?
So I have put some more cards in my sideboard to beat Mentor, but not really. So Drew, you just want to combo them off and kill their Stony Silence. But
yeah.
Okay, we are right now going on my perfect dream, like Oliver losing and me winning. That's the start.
Yeah, I mean, this is the big match. Like, if you're able to beat Oliver, everyone is close. We'll all be 3-2, 2-2, and 2-3. So that makes it interesting. So I think that you kind of have the whole world rooting for you here. There's a couple 16-year-olds who are lit and woke and sauced that might be cheering for Oliver, but we're looking for a nice close competition, and I'll make sure that me and Paul show plenty of bias in rooting for you.
Yeah.
All right, and good luck next round.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be right back.